Good day, everyone. Good day, sir. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce first our group. I am Rosemary Herera. Together with my co-researchers, will present you our research entitled Factors Affecting the Reading Performance of the Elementary Learners. Let's start in Chapter 1, Introduction. Reading is crucial for students' academic performance and for the development of a country. According to Oberholzer, 2005, Oyetonji, 2011. Successful students are those that have an interest in reading, as many subjects are taught and class assignments are given that need reading comprehension. Reading is a fundamental life skill and a cornerstone for success in school and in life. According to Darrell 2005 and Oberholzer 2005. As a result, the students who can read well perform better in daily school tasks. Other factors that have also been identified as factors contributing to poor academic performance, but are underreported include social commitments, according to Lee and Shute 2010, and financial concerns, Darolia 2014. Indeed, student well-being is considered a crucial impediment to academic success, according to Kochoroba, Kulinger, and Hosayan 2015. In addition to the internal factors, the external variables can also facilitate to hinder learners' reading comprehension performance. The first affecting factor is teacher influence, which can be any attributes related to the teacher. For example, teaching methods, teaching materials, the content of reading lessons, and the potential application of the learned knowledge in daily life can influence learners' reading comprehension ability. Another external factor is family influence. These affecting variables deals with assistance, encouragement, and support from the family members. Potong Sonan, 2015. Although family involvement in reading activities such as providing English writing books and helping with reading-related homework or assignments usually promotes young learners' literacy skills, Dawkins 2015. Teenage learners should benefit from it when they feel the encouragement from the family members and recognize their attention to their learning. Therefore, students can broaden their knowledge through reading activity, which can also help them become intelligent and respected people. Students' reading ability must be developed. Reading is the window of the world. Reading enables individuals to acquire knowledge, additional facts, and knowledge from books, journals, newspapers, and other sources. We undertaken this study because, as we all know, that pandemic has impacted many of these learning opportunities. The pandemic had also caused psychological stress among the students, making it difficult for them to focus on studying. They express feelings of anxiety, burnout, loneliness, homesickness, grief, and hopelessness. Let's move on to the theoretical framework. The researchers used the following theories: schema theory, behaviorist theory, and social constructivist theory as a foundation of creating this study titled Factors Affecting the Reading Performance of the Elementary Learners. This study is based on the schema theory. This includes top-down, bottom-up, pre-reading, during reading, and after reading. Schema theory is a cognitive framework or concept that helps organize and understand information. Top-down processing is the concept that in order to process and understand a text, one must begin with higher level aspects such as background knowledge, context, and overall meaning and work one's way down to lower level semantic, syntactical, and phonological features. Next one is the pre-reading. Pre-reading activities prepare students for reading by activating appropriate schemata and inspiring them to read. Next is the during reading. These activities are also described as activities that assist students in focusing on certain areas of the text and better understanding it. Thus, this theory helps the current study in collecting and supporting data for a relevant outcome. Furthermore, this serves as a guideline for developing the foundation of the reading program in preparation for junior high school. Next theory is the behaviorist theory. The behaviorist theory of reading was developed in the 1970s but is still used in some schools today. According to B.F. Skinner, children learned language by repeating words and sentences given by their teachers or on workbook pages. In the study of Lev Vygotsky, the social constructivist theory emphasized the child's environments as she learns to read. The schema theory, behaviorist theory, and social constructivist theory focuses on language learning, organizing and understanding information, and gaining knowledge within the culture, which can support the factors affecting the reading performance of the elementary pupils. This theory helped the current study in collecting and supporting data for a relevant outcome. Furthermore, this served as a guideline for developing the foundation of the reading program in preparation for junior high school. Let's move on.
So we classified the present variables in the study accordingly, ending up with the level of reading performance of the respondents as independent variables, and the factors affecting the reading performance of elementary pupils as dependent variables. The level of reading performance of the respondent has a possible outcome or has a factor that may affect the reading performance of the elementary pupils. According to Lev Vygotsky, the social constructivist theories state that children gain knowledge within their culture and that they learn best with the help of an adult. According to the theory, language and culture provide the frames through which people experience, communicate, and comprehend reality. The conceptual paradigm of the study shows the relationship between two variables, independent and dependent variables. The independent variables are the factors that manipulate the study or the experiment. The dependent variables is the factors that was observed or measured. In this study, the independent variables include the level of reading performance of the respondents. The table that presents the conceptual framework is shown on the next page. This study aims to determine the factors affecting the reading performance of the elementary pupils. This seeks to answer the following questions. First, what is the level of reading performance of the respondents in terms of pre-test and post-test? Second, what are the level of influence on the factors that affects the reading performance of the respondent in terms of motivation, family support, and teacher instructions? And lastly, is there a significant difference between the factors that affects the reading performance of the elementary pupils across the level of reading performance of the respondents? Based on the stated, the researcher formulated the hypothesis that was tested at 0.05 level of significance and is stated in its null form that there is no significant difference between the factors that affects the reading performance and the level of the reading performance of the grade 6 pupils.
The scope and the limitation of the study. This study is focuses on factors affecting students. It delimits the factors, namely motivation, family support, and teacher instruction. The respondents of the study are the grade 6 pupils at Urdaneta Central Elementary School who are enrolled during the school year 2022 to 2023. There will be 56 respondents from the section Moonstone. This research focuses on the reading performance of the grade 6 pupils. Significance of the study. In each section, the researcher believed that the result of the study can contribute on improvement of knowledge about factors affecting reading performance of the students, parents or guardians, and future researcher. Elementary teachers, the result of this study would guide them to better prepare for the industry. Elementary pupils, the result of the study will primarily beneficial to the elementary students. Parents or guardian, the result of this study may also serve as a way for attachment of the parents in helping their children in learning. Future researcher, this study may serve as a reference for them to be more knowledgeable about the study that they will be conducting. Definition of terms. To facilitate understanding of the present study, the following terms are defined lexically and operationally. Elementary learners. In this study, it refers to the respondents who are grade 6 pupils who are involved in the conducted research. Internal factor. In this study, external factor is the family influence. These factors deals with assistance, encouragement, and support from the family members. Extrinsic motivation. In this study, it refers competitions which has a negative effect on the reading performance of the learners. Factor. In this study, a factor is an impact that can be any characteristics that affect how will children read. Internal factor. In this study, internal factors are the teacher's influences which may attribute related to the teacher. Extrinsic motivation. In this study, it refers to the reading enjoyment and reading interest that has a positive effect of the initial reading performance of the pupils. Motivation. In this study, it refers to the one of the factors affecting the reading performance of the pupil. Reading. In this study, deals with the development of the pupils in pronunciation, volume, articulation, and speaking rule. Reading performance. In this study, it refers to the level performance of the learners.
Chapter 2 deals with the system of method used in a particular area of study or activity. So, let's start with research design. So, a research design is a descriptive research using quantitative approach. So, the main reason why we employ this design is because we intend to find out the factors affecting the reading performance of the elementary students. So, the data that we gather in this research are collected quantitatively and analyzed through quantitative method. On the other hand, the data collected are expressed through numerical values. Population of the study. So the respondents of the study are the 56 grade 6 pupils from the section Moonstone in Ordaneta Central Wald Elementary School during school year 2022 to 2023. So the researcher will use total enumeration since the researcher select one section of grade 6 pupils. So total enumeration sampling is a type of purposive sampling techniques where the researcher chooses to examine the entire population that have particular or characteristic in sampling. Units, the things that make up the population. So a questionnaire is a research tool used to conduct survey. So the final version of the tool is consist of two parts. So part 1 will gather data on the profile of the respondents such as age, sex, parents' educational attainment, economic status, and available resources. And the second part will collect data using checklist to determine the level of influence on the factors that affects the reading performance of grade 6 pupils in terms of motivation, family support, and teacher instructions.
And the data gathering instruments. These instruments will use their gathering data is a questionnaires checklist to identify and access the factoring affecting the reading performance of the pupils. It consists of two parts. Part 1 deals with the profiles of the respondents in terms of sex, age, parents, highest education's economic status in available resources. Part 2 deals with the use of the checklist in determining of the levels, influence of the factors, effects of reading performance, grade 6 pupils. In the terms of motivations, family, pupils, and teachers' instructions. Data gathering procedures, the researchers will use the questionnaires for gathering data. The questionnaire is designed, the research include items that can be encountered about factors affecting reading performance of the elementary pupils. Statistical treatment of data. The data is analyzed by using descriptive statistics, reliability, testing, regressions, analysis, and Bayesian correlations. Descriptive statistics indicates the measures of mean values and standard deviations presence. Empirical data, Zygmunt et al., 2010. For the problem number 1, the formula used to get the percentage is shown below. Formula: P is Fn times 100, where P percentage, F frequency, N number of cases, 100 constant value. For the problem number 2, the average weighted mean AWM is used to describe the level of influence on the factors affecting the reading performance of the grade 6 pupils. AWM is EFIXIN, where AWM is average weighted mean, FI frequency of responses, XI classifications value of each category. Table of contents, the mean will be considered and interpreted using the following scale: point value classifications, mean scale, and transmutations rating. So 4.20 to 500 is extremely influential. 4 is 3, 4.40 is 2, 4.19 is very influential. 3 is 2.62, 3.39 is somewhat influential. 2 is 1.80 to 2.59 is slightly influential. 1 is 1.00 to 1.79 is not all influential. To answer problem 3 is on the significant relationships between the profile of the respondents and factors, pressures, are correlations, coefficients. Using an open source program was utilized. Formula is R correlations, coefficients. Xi is values of the X variable in a sample. X is mean of the values of the X variables. Yi is values of the Y variables in a sample. Y is mean of the values of the Y variables. Ethical consideration. Research ethics provide guidelines, the safeguards to protect the rights of the peoples involved in these studies. The following ethical principles include an informed consent. It means that the persons participating in the evaluation is fully informed about the evaluation being conducted. Conditionally, it means that any identified information is not made available to or accessed by anyone but the program's coordinator, and to ensure such as identified information is included from any reports published documents.
Let's move on to the chapter 3. This chapter includes the presentation, analysis, and interpretation of the data in relation to the stated problems of the study, such as 1. Level of reading performance of the respondents in terms of pre-test and post-test. Number 2, level of influence on the factors that affects the reading performance of the respondents in terms of motivation, family support, and teacher instruction. Number 3, significant difference between the factors that affects the reading performance across the level of reading performance of the respondents. The table 1 represents the pretest reading of the learners. This is entitled Reading Performance of Grade 6 Learners. Table 1 shows the result of frequency and the percentage of pretest reading performance. The frequency of the pretest, which is 56, the percentage is 100%. Learning is the true foundation of the most processes. It all starts with the written word, whether it is math, science, or even home economics. As students move up the educational ladder, as subjects become more difficult, more reading is usually required, according to Philippine Star 2010.
It implies that the factors in terms of motivation, such as extrinsic and intrinsic, family support, and teacher instruction greatly contributes to support the reading performance of grade 6 pupils. Shown in the table, the teachers are always working to improve the children's reading abilities through the use of strategies and techniques, verification of all reading-related tasks, and management of the children's progress as shown in the average weighted mean of 4.48. According to Rupley, Blair, and Nichols, by saying that the reader seems to learn essential reading skills and strategies better if the strategies instructions becomes the part of teacher's teaching method. In this situation, the students get new information about the strategy through meaningful and explicit explanation from the teachers. When the teacher demonstrates the skill or strategy, it will be easier for the students to practice and apply it and obtain feedback.
The parents are always involved in enhancing the reading skills of their children in terms of showing positive attitude in helping their children to read and in responding their child queries, assignments, and checking about the child reading progress, and in helping their child to read homework as shown as the average weighted mean 4.29. So therefore, parents need to show the strong in providing the needs of children, especially in enhancing their fundamental literacy skills. Improved parents' involvement would determinately lead to the better reading performance. On the other hand, the influence of the family are required because it will known fact that parents also act as a teacher to their children. According to Ramirez, Little, and Cool 2020, have found that children are motivated when their families or parents are interested in their schoolworks and consequently spurred to higher achievements.
According to Harold Hamadi and Juarez in 2021, said that reading motivation has a great impact on reading comprehensions. The research continued that reading motivations all aspects of motivation and reading comprehensions strategies, different conditions. They also emphasize that students' motivations absolutely affects their reading. It means that students with stronger reading motivations can be expected to read more and wider range.
Table 2 shows the result of average weighted mean of the extrinsic motivation, which is 4.19, remarked as agree, and extrinsic motivation, which 3.95 average weighted mean, remarked as agree. Reading motivation, the large amount of motivation that students have to concentrate their positive or negative opinion about reading. Reading motivation are internalized regions for reading that activate cognitive process that allow a person to carry out action like learning new things, appreciating arts, completing tasks, and engaging in social interaction.
That's all for our presentation. Thank you for watching.